A very good noon to all of you. I am Nikita and I welcome you to this session, Sentence Improvement for CAT and OMETs. So, we are going to talk about some grammar questions today of the nature of improving sentences, and these will help you, especially in your OMETs, right? Because all your OMETs they do ask grammar questions, and sentence correction, sentence improvement is a ubiquitous question type, right? So, we are going to practice some of these questions. They'll also improve your knowledge of grammar concepts, okay, along with showing you how to apply those concepts, right? So, welcome to the session. Give me a hi, hello, so that I know you are here and I can begin. So, we'll learn the approach to these questions. We'll, of course, practice some questions. That is what we are going to do today. All right. So, sentence improvement questions can also be of various types, right? For instance, I could give you one sentence and I can repeat it with some mistakes 5 times, 4 times, and I can ask you, okay, which is the best, which is the most grammatical sentence out of these, right? Which is the grammatically appropriate sentence out of these? Or I can give you 4 different sentences and I can ask you to choose that which of them is grammatically correct, right? So there can be multiple question types even within this category of sentence improvement. So let's have a look at these question types. And your first question just has a part of it underlined, right? So only a part of this sentence is underlined. That means the rest is fine, right? But in such questions, always read the entire sentence because it will give you an idea as to what should come in this part, right? After this, read these parts vertically. So as you can see here, we have unexpected, but here we have unexpectedly. So when you read vertically, you're able to spot differences, which helps you in elimination, right? So this is how you attempt a sentence correction question where the whole of the sentence is repeated multiple times or a part of it is repeated multiple times with differences, right? So let's see what you say here. All right, waiting for your response. Andrew was unexpected called for the jury duty while he was on the way to attend his friend's wedding party. Okay, so unexpected called, this seems a little off. Yes, because when I say Andrew was unexpected, that means that you weren't expecting Andrew, but that's incorrect. He was not unexpected, he was called in an unexpected manner. Called here is a verb, isn't it? And this word is giving me how this action took place, the manner of this action, the manner of the verb. So words that describe verbs are called adverbs, and I need an adverb here. What will be the adverb? Not unexpected, but unexpectedly. Okay, so excellent. Pratyusha, Lokesh, Sri, absolutely correct. C is the answer, called unexpectedly for the jury duty. Okay, this is incorrect because we have a was here. So we have to use the ed, the past simple form of the verb, right? I cannot use the base form of the verb. All right. Now, look at this sentence. 5 options again, as I've told you, some of your OMETs, NMAT, MAT, ZAT, they give you 5 options. So that's why I'm making you practice with 5. Let's have a look at this. Let's see what you say. Just writing worst here because that has also been underlined, right? So repeating it. Okay, let's see what you say here. Pratyusha says B. I need more responses so that I can discuss. Okay. See, after a disappointing performance in Mumbai, the ensemble. What is an ensemble? Yes. So this is how it is pronounced, ensemble. It's a French word that has been adopted in English. Any group of artists, musicians, actors, dancers. So basically performance artists. Their group is called an ensemble. Right? So B, D, B, all right. So that means two B's and one D. Let's have a look. After a disappointing performance in Mumbai, now whose performance was disappointing? The ensembles. So the ensemble should come here after this phrase. After a disappointing performance in Mumbai, the ensemble were or was labeled as the country's worst group. So it's basically a collective noun. Ensemble is a collective noun. Now, I am talking about it being labeled as the worst group. That means as a whole, it was labeled the worst, right? It's not that I picked one musician or two musicians and I said, oh, they are bad, the others are fine. I didn't do that, right? So when it is being treated as one entity, I can't use were here. I have to use was here. So this is the error in A. B is the answer here, right? These two are incorrect. Okay, in fact, this also because we don't know who this they is in E. Right. Moreover, after a disappointing performance, the country labeled, that would give the impression that the country gave a disappointing performance, which is not the case. Right. And then I can't say labeling. So there is no subject here, labeling the ensemble. I need a subject here. Right. That is missing. So B Bangalore. Good. Those who said B. Yes, ensemble cast. When there are many actors in a movie, we call it an ensemble cast. Correct. In music also, when you hear music on various apps, they also in the description give you that so and so ensemble when a group of musicians is involved in singing it, right? In singing a song. Okay, coming to phrase replacement. Yes. What do you say? Now again, you have this part underlined, so you have to see which of the options best replaces this underlined part in the sentence. Hi Prateek. Let's see what you say. Okay, Prateek has answered. Prateek says B. Shri D. All right. So here, see, these are the kinds of questions you get. Your examiner usually does not tell you that okay, we are looking for a verb error, we are looking for a tense error, we are looking for a subject verb agreement error. Usually, this is not told to you. You have to spot the errors, right? So one thing that you will notice here, we are giving the time period also here, right? When the ancestor lived, Dash lived in Africa between 1,40,000 and 2,80,000 years ago, right? So when I give you this specific time reference, when a time reference is specifically given to you, then there is no point of using the past perfect tense here. No other action has happened after it. So, see, on the basis of the last word, right, this extra word, I rejected B and C. That's why I said that, notice the differences, read vertically. Similarly, I see that here we have point, whereas here we have points. Yes. So I go and check what is the subject of this verb points. Okay. What points? Right. So let's see what points. It's not human DNA. It's not changes, it is the pattern. The pattern points to the possibility. So do not get confused with this unnecessary noise. This is noise. All these phrases that come after the noun, after this noun, the pattern, so of changes that have occurred in human DNA over time. This is one prepositional phrase. This is another prepositional phrase. These are not your subjects. Okay, the subject is the pattern. It is a singular subject, so we can't say point, we have to say points. So eliminated A also. Now between D and E, we are left with D and E. Okay. So every human might be a, may be a descendant of, descendant from. Right. So a descendant of, right, this is how we use it. He or she is a descendant of the Cholas, the Chola Empire, right? Whereas he or she has descended from the Cholas. So descendant, after descendant, we use the preposition of. After the verb descended, we use the preposition from. Okay, that's the difference. So E is eliminated, D is the answer. Okay, points to the possibility that every human may be a descendant of a single female ancestor. Another lesson for you, may versus might. See, while both talk about possibilities, may is relatively more formal, while might is relatively informal. Right? So let me write it like this. Relatively informal, might. Okay, so D Delhi is our answer here. Hope this is clear to you. Good, Shri. You said D. Excellent. Can we go to the next question? So here we saw so many types of errors. Tense error, subject verb agreement error, preposition error, isn't it? Modal verb error. So many types of errors packed in one question. Okay, let's have a look at this one. Okay, Virendra says E. All right. Others? Shri also says E. What about others? Pratyusha, what do you say? Pratik, Lokesh. Increasing weight when unaccompanied correspondingly. Okay. By increases in muscle mass can lead to lifestyle related disorders. Okay, so when I read the original sentence, then also I should read it with a fault finding lens. Okay, so that any glaring errors are visible to me right there. Okay, so I feel this correspondingly is a bit off here. Unaccompanied corresponding means proportionate, right? So proportionate should modify increase, it should describe increase, so one accompanied by a proportionate increase, that's what I want to say. So this seems off here. All right. This says not accompanied, whereas this is unaccompanied. So this is something that I noticed. When it was unaccompanied, okay, it's adding this here. This says if not accompanied. All right. So uh, this says when not accompanied. This says if not accompanied. Both seem to fit here. Both seem to fit here. Right. Now, let's have a look at this correspondingly versus corresponding. So I'll reject A because I have corresponding increase here, which is what I was looking for. Right. Now, I'll also reject D because it says by correspondingly increased muscle mass. No, correspondingly increased muscle mass means increasing weight when unaccompanied by a corresponding increase. So I'll reject D also. Now let's have a look at these. If not accompanied, this is rejected because of it was, when it was unaccompanied by corresponding, यहाँ पे article भी missing है, right? So I see, we say this is an increase from the previous year or this is a decrease from the previous year. Decrease, increase, they need to be preceded by an article. Okay, so the article is missing here, the article is present here. I'll choose E over B. Okay, moreover this possibly lead is also incorrect. Possibly leads होना चाहिए फिर, possibly leads would be correct. Okay, so multiple problems in B, Pratyusha. When not accompanied by a is missing, a corresponding increase in muscle mass possibly leads to. After possibly, you'll use the verb leads. Here we are saying can lead because can is a modal verb. After modal verbs, you have the base form of the verb, right? May lead, can lead, should lead, shall lead. We have the base form. But यहाँ पर base form नहीं आएगी, यहाँ पर leads आएगा. ठीक है? Okay, perfect. Is the answer. Now, again, the same sentence repeated multiple times. Now, see here, you are given 4 ways, and then the fifth option is all are incorrect, right? So that's also possible. Have a look. Let's see what you say here. Okay. So I've got a couple of responses. E, both of you say. All right. Why? Why E? What's wrong with the various options? Tell me. Okay, all right. Shri also says E. So A and D can be eliminated. I think it was very easy to eliminate them. Condition is singular. We have to put a singular verb here. We can't use have. Anyway, we can't use the present tense. Then in Tuesday, absolutely wrong. So very obvious errors. But why not B or C? This is and was admissioned to a Bhiwandi hospital. What is admissioned? Was admitted, right? Then what about C? Where she had died on Tuesday. Whenever I give a time reference is given. Plus, it is not followed by any second action. What is the use of the past perfect tense? To talk about two actions that happened in the past. The one that happened earlier takes the past perfect tense, takes this had, but nothing is happening after this. So why this had here? So you are absolutely correct. Eliminated E is the answer. There's something else that I would like you to notice here. See this. Uh, the subject. What is the subject for this clause here? Can you tell me? What is the subject for this clause here? It is not the woman, it is the woman's condition. Condition is the subject. Then when I say and was admitted, again I'm not giving the subject here. That means I am implying that this is the subject for this particular phrase as well. So, and was admitted. So, was the condition admitted? No. So, all of these are incorrect. Okay. And she was admitted. Her condition worsened and she was admitted. She is missing from all of these sentences. Okay. So, a very uh, glaring error, this one, right? And sometimes students don't notice this because they look at this woman and they say, Acha, it is something that I can understand so easily. This is common sense that the woman was admitted. But we are not, we are actually doing grammar here. We are not applying a lot of our logic to this, to be honest, right? Or in fact, I should not say logic, a lot of our common knowledge to it, right? So the woman's condition is the subject here, right? And I can't say that the condition was admitted, she was admitted. Okay. All right, then let's have a look at this one. Now, one of these is correct. I understand, Shri. This happens because we think we are able to actually gauge that from our common understanding that it must be the woman who was admitted, right? But if you look at the structure, structurally it was a wrong sentence. Okay. What else? Sanskriti says D. Virendra says E. This question, it belongs to this concept called parallelism. Right? Parallelism says that words that are doing the same job in your sentence should also look the same. Right? That is what it says. So, Joe began doing two things, isn't it? Joe began doing two things, searching for jobs internationally, and Joe began to do another thing also, looking for interesting opportunities rather than money. Right? So, searching and looking, They have to look the same. It can't be to search and looking. It can't be searching and to look. So B is eliminated, C is eliminated, okay, and even E is eliminated. Okay. Now between A and D, this is wrong. Jobs International is wrong. So of course it has to be D Delhi. Correct. Okay, so parallelism is the concept involved here. All right. Okay. All right. EAC. Let's have a look. See, first of all, not incurable, although it's not, I mean, strictly speaking, it's not incorrect. However, not incurable simply means it's curable, right? So, why would you want to phrase it like this? This then becomes you making your sentence wordy, right? We don't want wordy sentences, we want concise sentences. Okay. While this disease is curable, yet it is so draining. See, the moment I say while, I have expressed contrast. While is a word, it's a conjunction that expresses contrast, right? So, while and yet both are not required. While can do two things, it can express contrast and it can express simultaneity of actions. Okay, so don't think it can only express contrast, but here it is expressing contrast. Okay, now let's have a look at D and E. E is the C is the answer here, right? Let's have a look at D and E. D says even though this disease is not incurable, it is so draining that it leaves a person with almost any energy. This has to be almost no energy. Eliminated. Though this disease is curable, it is too draining that it leaves a person with almost any energy. Okay, so the usage of both the words is incorrect here. This has to be no. It is so draining, not too draining. So that. Okay, so good. The answer is C. All right, chalo. Great. Any queries so far? You can ask me. So we saw some finding the correct sentence questions, right? Phrase replacement, sentence improvement, sentence correction questions. So you can call them by different names, but ultimately you are choosing the correct sentence or you're correcting the error. That's what you're doing. Okay. Now let's have a look at this error spotting question. So here you just have to spot the error. You don't have to correct it in the exam. You just have to spot the erroneous part. Let's see what you say. Yes, 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 Virendra. Although, though, even though, all of them express contrast. Even though is more emphatic, meaning it gives more emphasis to the contrast. Though and although both are the same in terms of degree, The difference is that although cannot be used in the middle of the sentence, though can be used anywhere in the sentence, in the middle, at the end, in the beginning. You can use although only in the beginning. Okay. Sanskriti B. All right. So a lot of you say B. So what is the correction? Pratyusha, Sri, Virendra? Okay. Let's talk about them. Okay. Tell me something. Marks. Look at this noun marks. Is it countable or is it uncountable? Countable or uncountable? A simple hack to identify whether a noun is countable or uncountable, just see whether you can directly assign a number immediately right before that noun. Can I say this 1 mark, 2 marks, 3 marks? I can say this, right? Very conveniently. The moment you can say this, it means that your noun is countable, not uncountable. So let's take milk. I cannot say 1 milk, 2 milks, 3 milks. So it is uncountable. I can say 1 liter of milk, 2 liters. Then what is countable? Liter is countable. Milk is still not countable, right? So, all right. Now, these are adjectives here, right? Few and little, they are adjectives. They are adjectives of quantity. That's why they are sometimes also called quantifiers. Now, few, when will it be used? With a countable noun or with an uncountable noun? I have a few milk. That does not make sense. But I have uh, a few chocolates. Absolutely makes sense. So, few is used with countable nouns. Okay. Few is used with countable nouns, whereas little is used with uncountable nouns. राइट मार्क्स काउंटेबल है तो हम लिटिल लेस लीस्ट लेसर कुछ भी यूज नहीं कर सकते वी कांट यूज एनी ऑफ दीज राइट because it's the comparative degree there is a than here we'll say fewer okay so that's why B was erroneous good Virendra now few fewer fewest positive degree comparative degree superlative degree I hope you know about the degrees of adjectives if not that's okay you should go through the chapter adjectives from Renan Martin okay it talks about the degrees of adjectives also so this will become very clear now less versus lesser because someone said lesser marks see less is the adjective that we use when we talk about the quantity so for example when I was talking about milk I have less or lesser milk than my sibling, let's say. Okay, so quantity है ना, we'll use less. We can't use lesser there. Lesser is used in very limited cases when we're talking about the quality of something, the degree of something, the intensity of something. For example, he is a lesser president or he is a lesser soldier. Let's take that. He is a lesser soldier. It means he's not as brave as the other soldiers, not as strong as the other soldiers. So it's about the quality of a soldier that he is, right? We do not use lesser for quantity. ये याद रखना. ठीक है? Hope this is clear. Few versus little, fewer here, and in quantity comparisons, never lesser. Okay. Now, an interesting question type for you. Read the instructions very carefully. A sentence is divided into 3 parts, 1, 2, and 3. For each part, a corresponding statement that suggests a correction is given to you. So, I've given you 3 fragments and I've also given you the correction statements for these 3 fragments. But it is not essential that each part requires a correction. ये जरूरी नहीं है. So you first have to determine whether this part requires a correction or not. And then you have to tell me, okay, 1 and 2, they do require correction. Third does not require any correction. That's how you have to go about in this question. So here's the sentence divided into 3 fragments. These are the correction statements. Tell me which part requires a correction, which part has an error. Just a second. I'm just going to the previous question. I was disappointed to get. I was disappointed in getting. I was disappointed to get is better than both of them. By getting is incorrect. Okay. I was disappointed in getting. No, even that is not correct, because when I'm disappointed in something or in someone, that is the person or that is the thing that has disappointed me, right? So I was disappointed in, let's say, Rohan. That means Rohan disappointed me. I was disappointed in my marks. That is also fine. In getting fewer marks, that again seems a bit off, right? Sorry, sorry, sorry. Shri says 3. Others. Okay, this is what I've got so far. The act of rubbing stones together to produce sparks. So the act to rub stones together for producing sparks. This seems incorrect. I don't think there's any problem with 1. The act of rubbing stones together. So the act of what? I've mentioned that what is the aim to produce sparks. So for something that is our intention, that is our aim, we use the 2 plus base verb structure, right? So 1 is fine. And that's why, see, I don't even need to check second now. I just need to check third. And not a tool to cooking food or not a tool to cook food. Again, purpose, intention. Okay, so to cook food is correct and absolutely correct. 3 is the answer. Okay, Sri Virendra correct. Pratik says 2, no, but 1 is fine. Nothing wrong with 1. All right. Not a tool to do something. Purpose, to cook food. Cooking is not required. All right. How about this one? An interesting question, this one. Supplement by something or supplement with something, which is correct? Supplement by or supplement with? See, we are not substituting, we are supplementing, remember. So you supplement A with B, not by B, right? So 3 is fine, nothing wrong with 3. 3 does not require any corrections. We are left with 2 and 3. 2 and 3. So you say 3. Only the second one requires correction. Excellent. This is the answer. But they supplemented, right? Though they supplemented. This is what I need here. Make sense? Any queries? Please ask. All right then. Let's have a look at this voice question. You have to change the voice of the given sentence. Yes. What do you say? You have to convert it from active voice to passive voice. एक्टिव से पैसिव में कन्वर्ट करना है हमें. This and that both are fine. Yes, Virendra. So I was actually expecting this question. That's why I said if there's any query, please ask. Both are correct. Okay. So this is also correct. That is also correct. Why? When, we are talking about this and that, it is a question of proximity. How near that thing is to us. So when I'm talking about the forest, it is now my perception. Do I consider the forest to be near me? Do I consider the forest to be away from me? Right. So when we talk about, so basically nearness ka concept hai, that is one thing that I wanted to clarify. So nearness is a matter of perception. Do I perceive something to be near or do I perceive something to be far? For somebody, a distance of 5 kilometers could be near. For someone else, let's say living in Bangalore, it could be far off. Right. Uh, Another thing is when we tell stories, okay, when we narrate stories, when we talk about narratives, to make our story more vivid, we make it appear as if things are near to us. So if this is a part of a story, then the animals of this forest is what you will use if you want to make the forest appear near to you, right? We like things to be nearer to us in stories so that they are clearer to the reader. Okay. Now, coming to voice, active, passive. Yes, tell me. Shri has already answered C. What about others? That's it. One response. What about others? Last question for the day. I want enthusiastic responses. You should open the bottle. Now, what happens in passive voice? The object becomes the subject becomes the object. So the bottle should be opened. Now the question is, do I need to repeat this by you or not? Okay, I can even skip this. Sometimes this subject that becomes the object in the passive voice, sometimes it is skipped because it is very obvious. It is implied, right? Okay. About 4 hours, this is given to us. Now, this is before you use it. You use it is also active voice, right? So, you will convert even this to passive voice. It is used by you. It is used by you. And as I said, it's not necessary to write this. You can skip this. So, our answer will be D, Delhi. D, Delhi. Okay, not A because A treats this as a noun. This is not a noun, this is a verb. Use is a verb here. It will retain the structure of a verb. Okay, so A eliminated, D is the answer. C, no, because you it retains you use it. It retains active voice in this clause. All right then. So this is it from my side. Just a second. Okay. Yes. Just give me a couple of seconds. So there are a few announcements that I want to make. First of all, I am sure you are aware about the workshop that is going to happen on the 21st, right? So as I told you, an important workshop for you. All of you should attend it, right? So Gautam sir will take it. He'll talk about what you should do now that there are just 6 months to CAT, right? What should your preparation strategy look like? He'll give you a focused plan which will save a lot of your planning effort, right? Otherwise, you will have to devise a plan for yourself. So, do attend this workshop, okay? And apart from this, you know about our comprehensive CAT program as well, right? So, we have a comprehensive CAT program, and let me just give you its details. To make it accessible, we keep conducting scholarship tests. So, the latest scholarship test is on 28th May, right? So, let me just show you that particular slide itself. Yes, on 28th May at 11 a.m. we will see you with this test. If you perform well in it, you can get up to a 90% scholarship. See here. And students have received such scholarships earlier. Okay, already announced about this. The timing is 11 a.m. You have to register in advance. Do not miss this. Also, in case you're looking for more material to practice for CAT, to practice for OMETs, then we have such material on our app, right? So just download it. In the practice tab, you will find this material. You'll find various vocabulary tests, grammar tests, okay, various topic-based tests, and some free mocks as well. This is an ongoing series. I'm sure you know about it. I'm sure you've been attending it. Keep attending it. We'll keep conducting it till CAT, right? And yes, we are everywhere on social media. You can join us, you can follow us, right? I'm sure you've subscribed to the channel. As I said, you can download the app for more material, for more sessions. For instance, today in the evening at 7 p.m., I am coming live with a session on RC passages, how to comprehend them. And of course, we'll practice some RC passages there. So you can join me there. Okay. All right, then. This is it from my end. I hope you enjoyed the session. I hope you learned new things. I'll see you next time. Welcome, Sri. Welcome. Thank you, Virendra. Thank you. Bye bye.